Hi, I'm Claire Mills, Managing Director of the Center of Excellence for Public Sector Marketing. I also work with the Intersol Group on their marketing communications, and we're enjoying doing a video series, or I'll say these lovely ladies are doing a video series called Take Two. We have Kathleen, Connelly and Melanie Poulin-Delisle, and they're back, and they're going to tell us a little bit about this. It is a social experiment of sorts about deepening our connections in the workplace, and a premise will be tested one at a time. And basically, the premise is that we are really much more self-interested than we really believe. And if we just take a moment to step out of that sort of personal self-interested bubble, it will create those meaningful connections. It can be very rewarding, but maybe in ways we didn't quite imagine. So I'd like to ask Kathleen, sort of how did the experiment go?
Well, it went well. I mean, we had set out to practice these moments of stepping out of our self-interest and kind of reaching out to others every day. And we both admitted that we didn't think about it every day, but that's fine. We did it quite a bit. We did it quite often. We set out to do it quite often, and we did. And we learned some pretty interesting things by doing it as well.
Very good. So what did you find? What did you learn? What are the insights?
Three things are really top of mind for me. And the first one is that, it's true how self-focused we can get when we go about our day. So that was really interesting to observe. And the second thing that we observed was that, it doesn't take a lot to make a difference in someone else's day. Often it was a matter of seconds. And the third thing that we observed is that we were surprised at the response and the level of gratitude from the people that we were doing this with. So obviously this isn't something that happens every day where people go out of their way for you, or otherwise we wouldn't be so surprised when it did happen.
So what were some of the impacts of your observations?
Well, as Mel says, it seemed to be very impactful for the people that we were reaching out to through these little moments. But we also found it had a big impact on us. And that was that it was very energizing, for one thing.
Yeah.
Literally very energizing. And it encouraged us to do a lot more of this, considering how rewarding it was to us. And which is kind of ironic, because the whole premise was stepping out of that self-interest. But the interesting thing, and it's a bit ironic, is that the more you do step out of your own self-interest, the more reward you get from it, and it comes back to you in spades.
Absolutely.
So what does this lead you to believe? What should we walk away from this thinking?
Well, so we set out to test the premise that, taking the time to practice these moments of selflessness can be really rewarding and will enhance your sense of connection to the people around you. And what we found was that, that's very true, and it's totally worth taking the time to invest in others, especially in the workplace.
So if this is so great, and you obviously had a great experience doing it, why don't we do it more?
We asked ourselves that question as well, and I think the conclusion we've drawn is that we're so conditioned to be walking around thinking about all the things we have to do, all the things we need from the various situations, interactions we have with others. We're just conditioned to do that. And undoing that actually requires a lot of mind retraining, if you'd like. So the first thing was even observing that we are that self-interested. And then stepping out of that every now and then. It's a training exercise, really.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. Folks, I hope you'll stay tuned and keep checking back. We'll have more on this video series called Take Two. Thank you.